Tesla did a stock split back in August of 2020, a 5-for-1. And then 2 years later, in August again, they did a 3-for-1. Now, does that mean in 2024, they're going to do another one? Perhaps a 4-for-1? I already answered that question in this video here, but this is going to be an update video from this question. So, when stock split? In this video, I tried to answer that and predict. Obviously, we can't really answer that. We can only predict that. Again, this is not a crystal ball. This is a moon, where again, you guys can get this moon here as well. Now, although stock splits are very exciting and kind of, you could say it's a catalyst, even though it's not really. In my opinion, it's not really a catalyst because it doesn't really change the valuation of the company. After a stock split, the stock gets easier to buy, not cheaper. I hope you guys can understand this. It's easier to buy the stock, not cheaper. You got it? Great. Smash that like button. But a stock split is not really of a catalyst in terms of fundamental. It doesn't change how many vehicles you're going to sell. It doesn't change if FSD is going to be solved. It doesn't change anything about the company. In fact, if we take a look at the last stock split Tesla did, the stock actually went down because we were in the middle of a bear market. Now it seems like we're going back to a bull market now, which is awesome because I've been buying heavily for Tesla stock when it was down. So it's going to be awesome. And that would mean the higher it goes up, the higher the stock price and the sooner the stock split, which everyone gets whole excited about. But the question is, when? That is the question that we're going to be answering here today. So if you guys are ready, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Let's go. So here's the Tesla stock price prediction chart every single year from 2023 all the way to 2030. The chart and the formulas have been adjusted so we can get more of an accuracy, more of an accurate stock price prediction here. So let me go ahead and break it down for you quick time. In the beginning, we got the vehicle deliveries, which we'll fill out in just a second. We got the average vehicle sold or average selling price, which I put 45,000 for 2023, 48,000 in 2024 because of the Cybertruck. Don't bet against that. In 2025, I reduced it down to 47 because I am expecting the compact car to slowly make its way in, and Cybertruck will be reducing in cost as well. And obviously, as we go on and further with Tesla, they're going to continue to cut costs so they can reduce their costs of their vehicles as well while maintaining and actually increasing margins at the same time, which is absolutely insane. 2026, 45,000, and 42, 40, 38, and 36 until 2030. The compact car is making a good and strong impact on the average selling price. We got the credits here as well. I am bringing it down slowly because, as we go on, as we go further into the years and the decade, less and less car companies are going to be making gas cars and more towards electric vehicles. So that's why credits are going to be less for Tesla. Services as well is increasing year over year at around 30%, you could say. And the services as well, about 20-25% as a profit rate. Could be more, but staying conservative here. Then we got leasing here, which it is on a decline. And although I do have to go back and change these numbers here, but lately it's on a decline, which makes sense because, interest rates are higher and people, don't want to make these big purchases at the moment. But I do suspect that from 2025 and onwards, leasing is going to increase again big time, especially when the compact car comes in. Then leasing is going to be a sheesh moment. So, take all this with a conservativeness and with a grain of salt, but take this one with an extremely great grain of salt. Then the profits here, I left it at 40%, 41% because that's what the average at every single quarter. Vehicle revenue, we got to put that in, which we'll go back and do that. Then we got the vehicle gross profits, 18.5% in 2023. In Q1 of 2023, it was 18.3. We could end the year off by 19% because they did increase prices on all the models. Really, they increased the prices. And it looks like we are coming out of this bear market and people are being more relaxed. But again, interest rates are still high. Financing a car is still high. So getting a loan is still high. So it's not likely we'll see a high gross profit margin for the vehicle side this year. 2024, 20%, then 22.5%, then 25, 26, 27, 28, 29% up until 2030. Then we got the FSD global revenue and profits. We'll do this at the end once we figured everything out. Because at the moment, the average selling price does include the full self-driving in the US at least. So the full self-driving global revenue, profits and revenue. I had to do some calculations here and you'll see how I did it as well. You'll see it makes a big impact on the stock. If global with the snap of a finger, as I talk about on this channel a lot, because Tesla can do that with just one simple software update. It's insane, man. Snap of a finger, they can get anyone around the world with a Tesla that have approval in their country to do FSD, get FSD, which is absolutely insane. So we'll leave this at, best for last. We got the energy here as well. Pretty much I'm saying double for 2024 and 2025. Then about 50% growth year over year up until 2028 and 40% growth up until 2030. After that, we got operating costs and the taxes. Then we got the total revenue, income from operations, and then operating margin, net income gap, stock-based compensation, which every year I gave it a 5% increase, non-GAAP net income, and the shares outstanding diluted pretty much. And that's being diluted about 0.2% on an annual basis. I mean, as we keep going forward, they're going to be making a lot of money. And so most likely they're going to start doing buybacks maybe in 2026, 2027. I don't know. I didn't add buyback in. I'm just diluting just to be conservative. That's all. Then we're going to calculate the EPS based on the non-GAAP number because that's how they do it. And then we got the PE. Then we got the Tesla stock price. Then the market cap as well. And then below that we got the stock split. Now, stock split rules. It looks like Tesla doesn't want to see their stock to go in the thousands or in the 4 digits, nor would they like to see their stock going below the triple digits, which mainly is around 200 really. So the rule that I made here is anything in the 800 to 700 range, that's where Tesla's going to do a stock split. And I'm guessing it's going to be a 4-for-1. So once we hit that number, we're going to say 4-for-1. Secondly, once we hit these numbers, because remember, doing a 4-for-1 would mean the stock would be around $14 billion in shares outstanding, which is absolutely insane. What I'm saying is the next stock split, which is stock split number 4, $600, $500 to $600, then they'll probably do a 3-for-1, somewhere around there. So keeping these rules in mind, let's get into it. Let's figure out how many vehicles they're going to do yearly, find the revenue, find the income, get a PE, then do the FSD, see what difference it's going to make, and then figure out when the stock price will have a split. If you guys are ready, man, smash that like button because this is going to get juicy. Alrighty, so in 2024, I'm just going to keep it conservative and, go based on what Tesla said at 1.8 million vehicles deliveries. Alright, nothing more, nothing less, even though I think it's going to be a slightly more. But let's just go based on 1.8 million just to stay conservative. And bam, look at all these numbers come in. Take a pause, look at it, digest it a little bit, see what you guys can see because it's a lot of numbers. But let me go through the vehicle deliveries. So I'm saying 35% growth year over year up until 2028. And 2029 up until 2030 will be 30% growth year over year. Which if that happens, we're saying just shy of 14 million vehicles deliveries by 2030. Now most of you guys will go like, Pejjy, man, they gotta be 20 million vehicles by 2030. In my opinion, I think it's gonna be delayed by a couple of years. All right, I'm not a Tesla bear. I'm all in on Tesla, man. I'm just, again, looking things at a conservative rate. I think they are gonna do 20 million, but not at 2030. I think they're gonna be just shy of 7 million, 6 million. I mean, it's phenomenal. If they could do that much, 13 million or 14, close to 14 million by 2030, that is a record for any car company ever. Even the year before that, 2029, 10.5 million, that's like what Toyota is doing. I don't think they'll do it anymore, but they'll be hitting record by 2030. Tesla will be making the most vehicles ever. Anyone, everybody. It's just going to be insane. We'll also extend to 2031 and 2032 to see what I mean. You guys will see. It's a spicy video, all right? So that's the vehicles. I want to skip down all the way to the total revenue and the total net income non-GAAP. So as you guys can see, we have here over $100 billion in revenue, which again, that's what everyone is saying as well, $100 billion in revenue, which is about 15 to 16% more than last year. Again, this year was a tough year for Tesla because they cut prices pretty aggressively. Even though this was more of an offensive move, they still take a hit in the revenue and profit, as you guys can see, 11.2% operating margin. That's a big hit. Even the vehicle gross margins of 18.5%, they used to be as high as 30%, which I have here back to 2030, 29%, right? So I am staying conservative here as well. But nonetheless, even with all this, they're going to do over $12 billion in net income, even though that's $500 million less from 2022. Phenomenal. In a year like this, it's insane. And then as you guys can see, the year after that, 145 billion in revenue, over 21 billion in net income, non-GAAP. 2025, $200 billion. Absolutely insane, man. Almost $35 billion in non-GAAP net income. Absolutely It's insane. 2026 surpassing $250 billion in revenue with an operating margin of close to 20%. That will give you almost $53.5 billion in net income non-GAAP. That's just absolutely insane. And you know, this will keep going on. And then let me just give you 2030. Over $700 billion of revenue and a net income non-GAAP of over $188 billion. That's over 26% margin. And that's 13.6 million vehicles delivered. That's just insane. But let's go ahead and give this a PE. Let's see what the stock price would be, and then we'll add on the FSD Global because that's going to give it a jump. So if you guys are ready, man, I know I keep saying smash the like button because these videos do take a while to make. So and the chart make take a while to make. So yeah, smash that like button if you're ready, man. Let's go. In 2023, right now the stock price is, I mean, it just broke over 200. So that's nice. You know, that tells you something. That tells me that we are going into a bull market. The bear market is slowly subsiding and we are slowly shifting into a bull market. I mean, since the beginning of the year, it seems like we're in a bull market because Tesla stock was at 100. Now it's at 200 and, well, 200 now. It's doubled. So that kind of sounds like a bull market to me in a way. But what's the right PE if we do go into a bull market? If we go to a bull market, I think a PE of 65 makes sense. Now again, this is an EPS of $3.49. This is less than 2022, but we do think, I mean, I do think that if we're really in a bull market, that means the optimism is back. People are looking forward to 2024 and onwards, where there's price cuts going to happen, where inflation is pretty much dead, and there's more certainty in the market. So that's why I give it a 65 PE. If all that comes together, we will get a stock price of $227 per share and a market cap of $739 billion end of this year. Some people are saying $250 this year. That would give it a PE of like 71.5, you could say. And some bulls are saying as high as 75 PE could go to 261. All right, but I'm going to keep it conservative and say 65 on the average and $227 per share end of this year. 2024, I'm going to give it a PE of 60, which would give it a stock price of $364 per share and a market cap almost reaching $1.2 trillion. So yes, that's right. End of 2024, when they do almost 2.5 million vehicle deliveries that year alone, which is amazing. $365 per share, 1.2 trillion. That's pretty much back at what the all-time high was back in 2021. Now, I did make a video a while back saying how Tesla stock split could happen a lot sooner than you guys think. It was as early as 2024, really. And if that's the case, again, $700, $800 per share to do a stock split. That would mean the PE needs to be, I think it was 100? No, 120. So if we can double the PE in 2024, I mean, this would need to be in a mega bull market where everything is going well. You know, Russia-Ukraine war ended. The inflation is 100% done. Interest rates are going back down to, you know, less than 2%. Money printers starting again. Then yeah, we can probably see this and probably see a stock split by 2024, but realistically, I don't think so. Giving a 60 PE, again, $365 per share, $1.2 trillion. That's what I think 2024 would be. And I think this would be fair in my opinion. Moving on to 2025, give it a PE of $55 per share and an EPS of $10 by 2025. I mean, that's insane. That will give us a stock price of $550 per share and a market cap almost reaching $1.8 trillion. In 2026, a 50 PE with an EPS of 15.28. 50% growth. That's just more than 50% growth. That's absolutely insane. 50 PE will give you a stock price of $764 per share and a market cap of $2.5 trillion. So hold up a minute. We already reached $764 per share. Does that mean a stock split? Well, based on our rules, yes, it does. So in 2026, we could expect, if the stock price is $764 per share, we can expect a stock split, and I'm saying a 4-for-1. Comment down below if you guys agree if 4-for-1 makes sense. I think it makes sense. And if we go ahead and do that off the $764 per share, we get a stock price of $191 per share. That's our new stock price going forward with a market cap of almost reaching $2.5 trillion. Absolutely insane. Moving on to 2027, I'm going to give it a PE of 45 with an EPS of 21.25. Absolutely insane. That will give it a stock price of $239 per share after split and a market cap of $3.1 trillion. That's absolutely insane. 2028, a PE of 40. We get a stock price of almost reaching $300 per share and a market cap of $4 trillion. Pre-split is almost $1,200 per share. That's pretty insane. And I think it was around this year, or I think it was 2027, where ARK is saying $2,000 per share. So we're only halfway there. And again, this is not including Robotaxi or FSD yet. So we're going to add the FSD later, but not the Robotaxi, because I have no idea how to add that in. So moving on to 2029, give it a PE of 35, and we get a stock price after the split of over $350 per share and a market cap of over 4.5, almost reaching $4.6 trillion. God. 2030 with a PE of 30 with an EPS of over $53 per share. Absolutely insane. We get a stock price after the split of $400 per share, and pre-split that's $1,600. Market cap over $5.2 trillion. Absolutely insane. But we're not done yet. Let's go ahead and add the FSD. Hopefully we can squeeze in another stock split in 2030 with this. Let's see if that's possible or not. Again, if you guys are ready, you know what? Don't smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button, man. There we go. Change it up a little bit. All right, let's go. Alrighty, for the FSD, I'm saying from 2025 and onwards, that's when FSD global is going to slowly happen, whether you're in Europe, Australia, Dubai, some Asian countries. When you get approval, I think we can see how Tesla FSD can be available there as well. Here is a chart how I did it. I know it looks a little bit confusing. You guys can go ahead and check out the video here how I did it. I did adjust here the chart of the bear case here. This is where I adjusted. As you guys can see, 13.6 million vehicles deliveries by 2030. This is the number that I went based on. So check out this video if you guys want to understand more, but I do want to say that I did do further more adjustments here. Here's a chart how I did 2025 all the way to 2030 with the FSD. For all of them, I said 50% conversion rate. That's it. For 2025, I left it at 40% profit. In 2026, 45%. 2027, 50%. 2028, 55%. 2029, 60%. And 2030, 65%. And anything year after that goes up by 5%, because look, FSD is just a software. It's done, it's ready, you just sell it and you just make the profits. And it's high margins. Elon Musk did say as high as 80%. So I'm just leaving it out there. Let's add these numbers, the respected years, to the respected years here in this chart. Starting off with 2025. So as you guys can see, stock price here is 550 because we haven't done a stock split then. In 2025 with a PE of 50 and a market cap of $1.8 trillion almost. Let's slap it on. Bam! Look at that. Stock price $600 per share and a market cap almost reaching $2 trillion. And EPS from $10 to $10.91. So that's absolutely insane. Moving on to 2026, as you guys can see, $12.28 at the EPS. Stock price $7.64. Pre-split, after split is $191 and a market cap of almost $2.5 trillion. Go ahead and add it. Bam! Look at that. 1528 turned to 1673. Absolutely insane. A stock price of $836 per share. Pre-split. That's how you know pretty much 2026 is the year that Tesla's most likely gonna do a stock split. You can bet on that. You can put me on the record. 2026 is the year Tesla's gonna do their third stock split 4-for-1. That's my guess. And that's what I think will happen. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the numbers entirely from 2027 all the way to 2030. Here's the before numbers. And here's the after. Look at that. Big difference. 2030, we were at 1600 pre-split. Now we're at 1840 with the FSD added. Absolutely insane. From 400 post-split to 460 for 2030. Absolutely insane. So it looks like, all right, based on this, we're not going to be getting any more stock splits in 2030 if we continue this rate of growth. Now, if it grows a whole lot faster, yes, I do believe we could probably see a stock split again, most likely in the 600s. 2030, we're not reaching the 600s. So let's go ahead and extend 2031 to 2032 and let's see if we can get a stock split then. Bam! What's crazy here, man, is over 1 trillion market cap in 2032. That's insane, as well as 22 million vehicles, over 22 million vehicles deliveries in 2032. Now that's insane. I think this is what could happen in 2032. Maybe a little bit less, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit less, but nonetheless, I do think 2032 is gonna be the year where they could probably do 20 million or 20 million plus in total vehicle deliveries. And yes, 30% operating margin will get you over almost $330 billion in net income. Non-GAAP, that will be almost over $93. Jesus. $93 in EPS by 2030. That's insane. But nonetheless, the PE that I put for 2031, 27.5, which would give us a stock price pre-split of 2138, market cap of 7 trillion, post-split of 4-for-1, 534 bucks per share, and a 25 PE for 2032. Look at that, $7.6 trillion, almost reaching 600 bucks per share. I'm guessing this is where the next stock split's gonna happen, and that's gonna be a 3-for-1. And a 3-for-1, you'll get 194 bucks per share. So unfortunately, it looks like we're only going to get one stock split this year, and that's 2026. Unless Robotaxi comes in, then we could probably see another stock split by 2029, 2030 at the least, if that happens. But again, I can't really add Robotaxi in here because I just don't know how to calculate it. If you guys know how to calculate it, please let me know. I'll send you my email address. You can, explain it to me on how Robotaxi works, and I can add it to the chart here, and then we can see how it'll affect the stock price. I'm very curious to know how to do that. Until Tesla doesn't give us any numbers, can't really bring it out of thin air. Unless I make a video separate to that, which I will later. This is what I'm gonna go with until then, which is absolutely insane. I mean, look at that, 2026, 4-for-1, then 2032, 3-for-1. And it's just a growth. Look at that. Imagine, guys. Do you guys think in 2024 the stock's gonna be around 365 bucks per share? I mean, just looking at 2024, I'm pretty happy. But let's see how it'll happen. This is only a prediction, and a prediction alone. Take everything with a grain of salt. More research is needed. So to conclude, when will Tesla do a stock split? 2026. In my opinion, 4-for-1. Second stock split, or stock split number 4, would be 2032. Or if Robotaxi comes in, we could probably see 2029 or even 2030. Let's see what will happen in the future. Now, if you guys are going all in into Tesla stock like I am, then you guys are curious to know how many shares you need to retire comfortably by 2030. No worries, I got you covered. Check out this video. Obviously, this is just a prediction and for entertainment only, but it'll fulfill your curiosity like it does for me. Check this video out. You won't be disappointed. Support the channel by becoming a channel member and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.